Master the structure. Master the subject. This is YastoG Academy.
If you're writing half a page for a 4-mark question, you're clearly burning time you will desperately need for the 20 markers later. I am the head coach at YastoG Academy. Today, I'm giving you the 1-to-1 rule, the exact technical structure I use as an examiner to award full marks in under 4 minutes. Let's look at the formula.
All right, let's get straight into it. Today, we are going to absolutely master the 4-mark explain question. Now, you know the one I'm talking about. It's on pretty much every paper, and honestly, it's one of the easiest places to needlessly drop marks. But by the end of this session, I promise you, you'll have a foolproof protocol to lock in every single one of those marks every time.
So, here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down what the actual problem is with these questions. Then, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, the examiner's nominal trap. After that, I'll give you the solution, the 1-2-1 rule. We'll see how it works with a real example, and then we'll wrap up with how you can master the structure for yourself.
Okay, so what is the 4-mark problem? Well, these questions, they look simple, don't they? But that's the design. They're actually a bit deceptive. They are notorious for tripping students up, and the real frustration, the part that drives people crazy, is not knowing why they lost the marks. I want you to really think about this for a second. Have you ever gotten a paperback, you look at a 4-mark question you were totally confident about, only to see a 2 or maybe a 3 scribbled next to it, and you're just staring at it thinking, what went wrong? I knew the answer. It's incredibly frustrating, and today we're going to put an end to that mystery. This brings us to what I call the examiner's secret. You see, there is a very, very specific mistake that examiners see over and over and over again. It's a subtle little error, but it's what separates a decent answer from a full-mark answer. So let's pull back the curtain on this classic pitfall, the nominal trap. So what on earth is this nominal trap? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's when you just name drop the business from the case study, but you don't actually use any of the specific details about that business. Look, just writing the company's name is an application. Real application, the kind that gets you marks, is showing the examiner you understand the specific world that business lives in, what it sells, who its customers are, its unique challenges. And this slide right here shows the difference perfectly. It's night and day. Look at that weak answer. Increase profits for Fit Fuel. That's the trap. It's vague. It could be about any company. But now, look at the strong answer. It earns those application marks because it links the point directly to Fit Fuel's context. It's a healthy meal prep subscription service, and it's targeting health-conscious consumers. You see, that specific detail is what an examiner is looking for.
Okay, so if that's the trap, how do we make sure we avoid it every single time? The solution is a simple but incredibly powerful structure I call the 1-2-1 rule. Think of this as your protocol, your system, that guarantees you hit every single assessment objective the examiner is grading you on.
This rule is your blueprint. 1, 2, 1. It's that simple. First, you state one clear point of knowledge. That's your first mark, your AO1, locked in. Then you make 2 distinct links back to the case study, using specific details so you completely avoid that nominal trap. That's 2 marks for AO2. And finally, you give 1 clear point of analysis, explaining the consequence, the impact, and that's your final mark for AO3.
Let's break that down just a little bit more. Your knowledge point, that's your definition, plain and simple. For application, you've got to become a detective. You mine that case study for gold. What do they sell? Who do they sell to? And for the analysis, this is crucial, you have to explain the so what, the consequence. Use trigger phrases like this leads to or as a result to force yourself to explain the impact on the business, whether it's on their profits, their brand image, or their market share.
Now, theory is one thing, but let's see this protocol in action. We're going to take a real sample question and break down a perfect 4 out of 4 answer. I want to show you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, just how effective this structure really is. Okay, here's our question. Explain one possible benefit to Fernando and Robert of using market mapping when starting their business. A classic 4-mark explain question. So let's put the 1-2-1 rule to the test. And here it is. This table lays it all out beautifully. First, the knowledge point. Market mapping helps businesses identify gaps in the market. Clean, precise, bam, 1 mark. Next up, the 2 application links. Notice it doesn't just say their business, it gets specific. It talks about analyzing competitors serving spicy or vegetarian food to attract a niche audience. Those are two distinct, contextual links. That's 2 more marks, right there. And finally, the analysis. What's the consequence? This enables them to create a unique selling point, USP, and differentiate. That is the impact, the final mark. 1, 2, 1. 4 marks. It's perfect. So let's bring this all home. What's the big takeaway here? It's that to consistently get full marks on these questions, you don't need to write more, you just need to write smarter. You need to master the structure. This right here, this slide, is your blueprint. You need to internalize this. For every single 4-mark explain question you ever face again, this is your path. 1 piece of knowledge, 2 points of application, 1 point of analysis. It equals full marks. This isn't just a tip, it's a protocol. Commit it to memory. Because really, that's what this all comes down to. It's not just about knowing the content from the textbook, it's about knowing how to communicate what you know in the way the examiner wants to see it, especially under pressure. Master the structure, master the subject.
The 1-2-1 rule is your defensive shield against running out of time. Don't forget 1 definition plus your key point, 2 context links, and your chain of analysis, or probably chains of analysis. Master the structure, master the subject. If you want my full exam ready checklist, check the link in the description when available. I'll see you in the next masterclass.